Good morning, everybody. Oxballs. Oxballs is the dildo factory in my backyard, which technically the main factory isn't in my backyard anymore because they got too big for the garage back there, and they're now in this huge warehouse. But the cool thing is that I'm actually taking over what used to be the factory, and it's going to become a gym, motorcycle parking, so I don't have to park outside because that sucks. And what's the other thing that I'm doing? Oh yeah, I'm going to turn it into a little photo studio. So that means I'm going to be able to actually take some pictures of my own, and then I can, because I'm working on my book a little bit more. It's going to be kind of fun. But speaking of dildos, there is a universal truth that says you shouldn't go to a supermarket feeling hungry because you end up buying much more than you really need. That's very true. I recently discovered that the same rules apply when shopping for dildos. Probably. I bought something that's a little too big. Do you have any guidelines or recommendations about shopping for dildos so no one makes the same mistake that I did, other than don't buy dildos when you're, quote, hungry? Okay. A lot of us have that problem where our eyes are a little bit bigger than our assholes. Yeah, actually, there's a bunch of guidelines when shopping for dildos that you actually do need to follow. Now, I always talk about how the cold anal trainer is really good for helping you loosen up and helping you get used to the feeling of something in there, and I'll try to link to that directly below here. Oh, if you're looking at this video on YouTube or some site other than Gay Daily Hot, when I point down or to the side, it's not going to make any sense. So you should, you should watch my videos on my blog if you can. Okay. Here's the thing. There are two different kinds of dildos. Well, there's actually technically three. There's three different kinds of dildos. There are the stupid novelty ones that are made for straight women to give to each other at bachelorette parties so they can giggle and get all flustered about sex, because nothing makes some straight women more nervous and giggly than the concept of actually having sex. And don't tell me that I'm lying, because we've all seen those things where they give each other in there, like... Okay, and then there are the dildos that are actually made for straight guys, and believe it or not, I actually have given dildos to very many of my straight friends, and as long as you buy a straight guy dildo, they'll actually think it's kind of cool. I will also link to the straight guy dildo below here so you can see, but the rules for a straight guy dildo is that it's not allowed to look like a dick, it is not allowed to be textured, it is not allowed to have moving parts or require batteries. It's not allowed to be shaped like anything other than a missile. It's just the way that it is. And preferably as bendable and as unthreatening as possible. And then straight guys will use it. I have learned this, young grasshopper, in my many years of buying sex toys. And then the third kind of dildo, of course, is the kind that we're looking for, which is actual, usable, realistic ass toys that gay guys can use. And that's the kind that they make at the Oxballs factory, some of which still has remnants in my backyard, and the rest of it is now in a big, huge, gigantic warehouse. Ox is presently looking at me through the back door. The dog might be coming. I might get a visitor in the middle of this, and I'll have to stop. Okay, so how do you find these things? Well, I'll link again to some of my favorite ones directly below here that are not only meant to help you stretch out and help you get used to it, but, dildos that are made for women should never be used by guys, because our bodies, clearly are different, and we need to stimulate and work with different things. And how do you find stores that sell them? Okay, there are two different kinds of sex toy store. Unfortunately, the vast majority of them are aimed at straight people who are horrified of sex, or at the very least think that it's funny. So if you walk into a sex store and the first thing that you're greeted with is like wind-up dicks, or like stress balls that are shaped like boobs, or silly little board games, or dice games that say, lick twat, or something like it. If you're walking in there and you're seeing stupid sexual novelties, turn around and walk out. They do not have what you're looking for. All right. If you walk into a store that is intentionally put together for gay guys, you are going to have much more luck finding a toy that you can actually play with. Stores that I can suggest here in California: 665 Leather in West Hollywood, Rough Trade here in Silver Lake in my neighborhood, Mr. S Leather in San Francisco is a really great one. There's also the website 665 Leather. There's Fort Trough, which is, Trough is spelled with 2 F's. If you go to the one where they spelled Trough correctly, you're going to the wrong one and you're not going to find what you're looking for there. In Toronto, there's a store called Pre-App. You know, if the store is predominantly aimed at gay guys, you're going to have much more luck finding toys that you can possibly play with. And that's really it. Dildos for guys should be, they should be relatively smooth, because we don't have clitorises to stimulate, so they should just kind of slide in. They should be a nice girth, but not too thick, okay? They can be shaped like real appendages, but if you see something at the bottom that's all curved or something, you don't need that, because that's meant for a part of the body that, you know, you don't have. So kind of walk away from those. And of course, the biggest thing is that in your case, your eyes are bigger than your asshole, and you bought something that's a little bit too big to slide in. You can try a couple of things. The first thing, clearly, is use the Colt anal trainer that I'm always talking about. If you're looking at this video on my blog, when I go like this, it's going to make a whole lot of sense, or go like this, it makes sense. And if you're looking at this video on YouTube or someone else's blog, I'm probably pointing at things that aren't there. So I'm not crazy. You're just reading as well. It's all you. So yeah, the Colt anal trainer is definitely really good to help you kind of stretch out. And that's it. Maybe you can save the one that's a little bit too big for, you know, inspiration, goals. Kind of like when on the wall in the gym, I put, you know, because I got a little gym, and I could put posters on the walls, and, you know, of guys with nice bodies. It's inspiration. It's a goal. So there you go. One of the other things that you can also try, which is something that porn stars will do if they're bottoming for somebody who's a little bit too big, is they, again, which I talked about in the video that I just did before this, they'll use a little bit of Orajel on their asshole, and that'll help them relax and let it in. And of course, playing with a dildo is really no different from bottoming, which is that you need to breathe, you need to relax, and you need to gently push out when it's going in. Because your body is kind of conditioned that if you're gently pushing out, those muscles relax and open up. And just think about what those muscles are really for. I mean, you know, we've appropriated it and found a different use, but those muscles are there in such a way that they're supposed to, you know, hold stuff in. So when you gently push out, that's when those muscles relax and open. I'm trying to think of something funny to say now, so sorry for that mental picture. Coffee. And keep asking me questions. Have a good weekend.